In this video, I will go into why Classic Era Vanilla WoW is increasing in the end of 2024 moving into 2025, why you should consider coming back now rather than later to get an extra advantage over other people, and we'll compare it to other World of Warcraft versions. Let's say you're new and do not have a character on Classic Era yet. Loads of players leveling from 1 to 60, making 5,000 gold. This takes care of their mount at 40 and 60, including training your skills. Because loads of rises are inflated, you get more gold to spend on the normal costs you have with leveling a new character in Classic Era. Having mining, herbing will help a ton with this. Research these items on auction house and grab them while you are on your journey in Classic Era. If you wait too long, more and more players are leveling and these prices can come down again. So as a tip, act fast. How is the player base of Classic Era in 2024 going into 2025? Player base is increasing weekly. Usually in the summer less people play and it picks back up during winter and it shows. We were hosting 16 40-man raids in the winter and went down to 5. We are picking back up again, hosting more and more. If you'd like to join our community, the Discord link is in the description. We welcome all new players and old veterans. We are on Firema Alliance Europe. There's loads of raids going on every day. Majority are GDKP though, but if you do not like that, you can go join a guild or a sulfur server. If you are on America, Whitemane is the most popular server in Classic Era, but if you're excited to play with us instead, you can easily play on Firema Europe with 150 ping. You do not notice the delay that much on WoW in comparison to a game like Counter-Strike. Whatever floats your boat, it is out there. In GDKP, some items are going for low amounts. Loads of alts are already geared. This means you go in fresh with 10, 20,000 gold and walk out with some of the tier 2 or 3 items. Now I know this is a lot of gold, but I will dive into videos on the future to get this in just a few weeks or a month playing the market and using my tricks, so make sure to subscribe. You will also get gold in attending these raids. Or let's say you're in Blackwing Lair or AQ40. You can get loads of stuff for minimum bid. You can easily gear in 20-man raids like AQ20, Zilgaruk. We usually look for warriors and priests the most to fill our spots, but level anything you enjoy. If you level warrior or priest in Classic, you're gonna get easy raid spots going into 2025. Granted, if you play well and keep improving. What is nice about Era compared to other WoW versions? Other WoW versions have seasons or expansions. Your gear becomes useless and you have to start all over. There's more of a community vibe, as you are there with 39 teammates. Most of these players have alts, you get to see them a few times a week and you get to build a bond. If you were a nice fellow in the community you decided to join in the past, they will open the doors and welcome you with open arms again. This happens a lot in our raids, as loads come back, even close friends of mine. For players waiting for fresh WoW Classic in 2025, Blizzard has shown that they are making seasons. We had Season of Mastery and Discovery. I would love personally a fresh Classic that goes back into TBC, as I do miss playing the Burning Crusade a lot. I can do a video about that in the future. But twice, Blizzard has not done this. Will they ever is the question. They released a survey of maybe Classic Plus, but who knows how long that will take to make. So if you're missing Classic Era, just go for it. So what that people are a bit ahead and have the gear sooner. You start faster, you catch up. You still can play new or other versions of WoW while playing Era, as one subscription gives you access to all the WoW versions. Classic, Retail, Era, Seasons. Many do this and take little breaks, but usually this hype phase ends, and after a few months or weeks they are back on the Classic Era. What about world buffs? Do they drop a lot in Classic Era or does it take too long? They're dropping a lot, and if you need Dire Maul tribute buffs, there's usually a guy called Asklosk online selling it. Usually after a raid there's an Oni or CG buff. I get either one, use my Chrono Boom, and then get Dire Maul buff. Mage Portal for the flower, and somewhere pick up a War Chief with some help after the cooldown is back up. I have 2 accounts, so I can log into both to get any of these buffs at the same time. This saves me a ton of time. My advice is just grabbing them right after a raid, which we usually do together anyway. What about changes coming to Classic Era in the future, Johannes? They recently made changes to Era that you could get War Chief in Stormwind, called the Might of Stormwind. I personally liked it, as I play loads of warriors and saves me a lot of time. But I also felt bad, as it is Classic Era. It should stay the same and not change. That's what people like about the game. How did you feel about this? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. They made this change because they did this in Season of Discovery and thought, and why not do it on Classic Era as well? But it made rolling on Horde side feel like a bad decision now, as the big sell to Horde is that you get an easy rent. Player base got mad for good reason, so after a petition they reverted it back. This makes me confident Era will stay the same and they will not implement changes on it for the future. So why is Era increasing in player base again in the end of 2024 and will go higher in 2025? Honestly, Cataclysm has dropped off in players, so has Retail after both initial hypes, which is totally normal. Season of Discovery is coming out with new phases, but players are awaiting what Blizzard is is releasing next, so they can prepare. During this time, some might prefer Classic Arrow. Usually during the winter times, many stay inside and are looking for something to play on the regular. And that for me right now is WoW Classic Arrow, as we have same scheduled runs weekly. If you're watching this and you're feeling a little bit lost, I hope this video pointed you in the right direction. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'll see you in the next one.